for Lionel Messi for Inter Miami. How important was it to just really take care of him when it comes to injury situation? Herc.
You've been the player.
The Inter Miami man today.
Yeah. No, not by design. Especially because it's Lionel Messi and he's got a track record. It seems like it's rinse and repeat. You put Messi, a healthy Messi, on the field, and he's going to produce. He's going to score crazy goals, produce magical moments, assists you couldn't think he could get there. He gets there, and then he goes to the national team, and he comes back, and this wear and tear really does a number on him until he can't go anymore. The muscles give out, and we've got to wait a few weeks, and it's rinse and repeat. And last year, we're in the same phase, and it was Inter Miami versus Monterrey, where he's coming back just into fitness. And he didn't look like the Messi of old. He didn't look like himself against Monterrey. They had a David Ruiz red card in the first game that really put them behind the 8 ball, and they went into Monterrey. They were just completely outclassed. But he didn't look like himself. So it's imperative, I think, in this tournament to see the best version of Lionel Messi. It's not an easy trip. I do not think people realize footballers who aren't from here, the States or Canada, who play in Major League Soccer, what the travel is like. When you play in Spain, when you play in England, you're taking a 2-hour train ride.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's for a player here in the MLS going from Miami to LA. It's like going from Spain to Russia.
I just did literally the FA Cup, Manchester United versus Fulham, and I was on a plane that's Boston to, London, and it's 6 hours.
Yeah.
You're doing that, if not more, to Los Angeles sometimes from these areas. So it's a lot of stress on the body. It's very new to these players. It's going to be interesting if he does play, how much time he plays, but it's imperative that you get a healthy Messi for this phase of the Concacaf Champions League.
Especially because it's a two-legged tie,
right.
So you don't have to use him no matter what in the first game. It could be obviously positive for him, getting him back in fitness.
But you wouldn't start him.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, because then you are at risk of him picking up a bigger injury and ruling him out for, a month or so, and that would be critical for Inter Miami. So you need to rest him well, take care of his fitness, and use him only if it's really needed, considering that you're going to have the second leg at home and he's going to be rested.
And that's the thing. It may not be really needed. It may not be a breaking case of emergency situation because of LAFC's current form, because LAFC have lost 4 of the last 5, because LAFC is in turnover. Steve Cherundolo is still trying to figure out, the dynamic that works ever since they lost Jeremy Bobisse against Austin. This is a different LAFC team. Oliver Giroud is not the Oliver Giroud of old. He's really struggled in Major League Soccer.
Hugo Lloris is super shaky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it really can be a situation where you can save him. And LA is one of the better places for MLS players to go play. There was the Athletics Anonymous survey, and they picked LAFC Stadium as the best place to go and play. A lot of that's because they got a great atmosphere, but it's also because you feel at home. And I say this in the most respectful way. I was there last time Messi was there. I was the one that tweeted the picture of the celebrity list that went viral. Of all the that went
Did
viral.
you get credit?
Some. But what I'm saying here is, it was all pink. It was all pink at the bank. They were all there to watch Messi. It didn't feel like an LAFC game. It didn't feel like a typical, Saturday at the bank. I think that's going to play a factor in this game. The people of Los Angeles, they're an event town.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi is an event. He is an event you have to see, must-see TV if you're there. So I think it's going to be a pro-Messi crowd, and I don't think that favors LAFC.
We're talking about strategy with him too, right? Because it's also very powerful for Inter Miami, for anybody on the team, to know that your best guy is sitting on the bench and he's there in case you need him. I know that's probably not the ideal situation. You want someone like him to be able to play 90 minutes every single time. But if you have him for at least the last half hour, as we just saw that quick impact that he had. So when it comes to that break for emergency situation, as you both mentioned, Herc, I want to go with you on this one. What's more important for Miami right now? MLS or CONCACAF Champions Cup?
You'd be surprised to hear that producer Beto and I were fighting about this.
No.
Really?
What?
Were you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm of the idea that, listen, if you're Inter Miami, yeah, you're the team to beat in Major League Soccer. Right. You should absolutely be obligated to win Major League Soccer if you got the greatest ever player to play the game. But it's more important to win the Concacaf Champions Cup. Major League Soccer is in a situation where they are the sons, los hijos, to Liga MX. Liga MX, year after year after year, wins this competition. And now you're going to tell me you can't win it with Messi? Like, it's that bad that you won't be able to win it even with Lionel Messi? Last time you played Monterrey, who were just eliminated, by Vancouver. A Vancouver Whitecaps team that was out without their best player, Ryan Gault, eliminated Monterrey. I'm not trying to say it again and again, but eliminated Monterrey.
Okay. Is
a team that took this team out, that took Inter Miami out, the team that's supposed to win it all, show us what Messi is. No, right now, Major League Soccer, they live inside a vacuum. They're behind a paywall. I know sports are all paywalls nowadays, but they're behind this paywall where it's behind another paywall where it's very difficult and the casual fan doesn't have access to. You have now all the eyeballs in CONCACAF watching you. You've seen what Messi going to Jamaica does. The people in the Caribbean speak about how big of a moment it is. They equate it to when Pelé went to the Caribbean. It's a massive opportunity for Major League Soccer to strike a big blow, a desperate blow that they really, really need. And if you can't beat him with Messi, when are you going to beat him?
But you're talking about this situation from a corporate MLS perspective, not from the Inter Miami legacy. We're all going to judge when he retires, when he lives. We're all going to judge Leo Messi by his legacy, and we will compare that legacy with David Beckham's legacy. And I don't.
What do you mean in Major League Soccer? Yeah.
In Major League Soccer, right? David Beckham won
the first
twice.
designated player.
Won the MLS twice, won 2 Supporter Shields as well. Messi needs to replicate that before. I think it's more important for the league. If you are just focusing all your marketing efforts, all the hype around the league in one player, this player needs to win the league. Otherwise, it's like, oh, it was all fuzz and the moment they get knocked out, if they get knocked out and they don't reach the MLS Cup, everyone will be saying, oh, this is a big failure, this is a fracasote, and so on. So, to me, for the MLS, for the league, it's huge. It's very important for Inter Miami winning the Concacaf Champions. But for Messi and for Inter Miami, as 2 separate entities, it's way bigger to win the MLS.
Well, let's just get one thing clear. It's not going to affect Messi if he wins or loses in Major League Soccer. His legacy is intact. But what is always eluded Major League Soccer is the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And I think fans understand that. He would do something that Beckham didn't do. He's already in a different stratosphere. And I understand what you're saying. You bring him to change the league. Well, you got to start by winning the league. I understand that, and I think they're obligated. The responsibilities on Inter Miami. But this is something that doesn't happen. In fact, it's only happened 3 times in their history. The neighbor down south, the commissioner of this league, continues to say, or has said for some time, that they want to be one of the best leagues in the world, when they're not even the best league in the region. Until you do that, you cannot dominate the world. So while winning MLS Cup would be something good and great for Inter Miami, I just think it takes it to a whole different level if you can prove you're the best in the region.
Here's the thing. It's interesting that I get why the pressure's on Inter Miami just because they have Lionel Messi. But when we talk about legacy, when we talk about CONCACAF Champions Cup and those specific matchups against Liga MX, it's a historic argument at the end of the day. Why aren't we pressuring the bigger clubs?
Like whom?
Galaxy?
Oh, trust me,
You're talking about legacy.
The Galaxy they've got their own problems there, and we'll get to it. But there is no club that is situated to be a big club like Inter Miami. It's not just the one player; it's what the one player attracts. Because of Leo Messi, you have an incredible advantage when it comes to scouting and recruiting.
Right. So all other teams are just going to sit back and wait until Lionel Messi leaves the league.
Exactly.
Well, they're not going to sit back and wait.
They can hide behind them. That's the problem.
True.
No, you can go out there and try to do what you can to win on the field, but no team has what Inter Miami has, and that's because of Messi. That's a reality. every single day, I'm part of this media network, and with Major League Soccer, I get emails about the new sponsor to this, the official, supplier of drinks for Inter Miami, the official, headgear for Inter Miami. It's like, that's Lionel Messi. That is Messi and nobody else. And you've got this unique point in time to take advantage of that. And if you don't, it's going to be one of the biggest fumbles in American soccer history.
I agree with that, but you need to seize that opportunity in that moment in your own market before trying to grow. And if Inter Miami, on the long run, want to change the roster rules and the transfer rules of the MLS, they need to have a position of force, and that is only achieved if you win the championship.
Yeah. It's definitely a very interesting conversation. While Messi is in the league, these conversations will always be fascinating because of the impact of one single player.
We're talking about
in an entire league
that's got Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, legendary players,
yes.
But it's all about Leo Messi.
100%. It will always be about Lionel Messi as long as he is in MLS. But we're going to take it to book it with odds to advance to the Concacaf semifinals. Mark, are you happy with what you're seeing here?
I'm a lot happier with Tigres now than I was a few nights ago. I'll tell you that much.
Why?
Yeah.
What happened?
So Tigres is pretty obvious here of why Galaxy are not the Galaxy of old. They're not the Galaxy of last season. Forget about Ricky Puig being injured. It's not just Ricky Puig.
Yeah.
Joe Village.
Yeah, Joe Village had left to Sporting Kansas City. These MLS rules that, in Will Kuhn's own words, the GM of the Galaxy, punish teams for being successful. They had to ship players out like Marky Delgado, prime players that could help this team win. They didn't reinforce themselves the right way. They've got prime players who have been injured to start out the season like Joseph Payne still. They've got problems at the goalkeeper position. You don't really know who the number one is. I think Tigres is a clear-cut favorite there. Inter Miami, for the reasons we've already mentioned, I think is also a favorite there. Futbol Americas is probably the hottest team right now in CONCACAF, coming off a three-peat. They can seem to do no wrong, regardless of who they play and who they put out to play against that team. And I'm really surprised by Pumas.
You and a lot of people, yeah.
Over Vancouver, and a lot of Efrain Juarez and what he's done, but this seems pretty spot on in my opinion.
So America, Tigres, Miami, Vancouver.
Yes, I went America. Let me tell you why Vancouver. Actually, okay. I was just reading the odds. Mm-hmm. Here's why Vancouver. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised by Tigres, by Pumas, because I don't think Pumas is by any means playing dramatically better, but they've been better under Efrain Juarez. But this is a team that doesn't have the talent level to make a deep run, and I'm pleasantly surprised with Vancouver, who right now leads the West. It's a team that has one loss in Major League Soccer. They just, while albeit in a neutral site in Torreon, beat Monterrey. It was a comeback victory without their best player in Ryan Gold, who may or may not be back by the time this series ends. But they've got some prime players like Brian White, who continues to do good things in Major League Soccer. He's their leading goal scorer in this competition. It's a team that prioritizes order, prioritizes defensive strength. It's very fast in transition. I could see them causing Pumas some problems there.
I would go with Pumas because I've been watching Vancouver, and I watched the game that they lost to Chicago Fire, and they're vulnerable through the flanks. Pumas got good players out, especially with Rubalcaba coming from the left, Leo Lopez on the right. They've got Memo Martinez in the central striker position, and they've got Alberto Carrasquilla in the middle of the park. So I will go with them. I will go with Pumas. I agree with the rest of your picks. But going back to Club America, that is really the team, the club that really needs to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Yeah. Even more than Inter Miami, because they have won 3 domestic titles. You already know that. Right. And they need to consolidate that position, achieving an international trophy. And this is their chance. This is their chance with André Jardine, who could be lured by Brazil, not by the federation, but for some Brazilian team. Botafogo also requested him a few weeks ago. So to me, Club America is really the club that really need to win this CONCACAF Champions Cup.
And they're in a difficult part of the bracket. The easiest part would be Miami's and LAFC. And I say this loosely as easiest. You got to go out and win those games. But certainly you have Tigres on one side, you have Cruz Azul on the other, that same side, you have America on that side, You got Galaxy MLS Cup champions. On paper, that's the strongest side. But I agree with you. Futbol America is a team under immense pressure. They've won 3 in a row, and it's not always come easy, but they've won. And they're making it look easy right now.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's eluded them is that international title.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time to take it to the world stage is basically the pressure that they're having at this moment.